Hi, Andrea. Thank you for taking part in this with us.
It's my pleasure, Nitya.
So, today we're going to be talking about, maintaining a healthy work and life balance. It's very hard for a new small business to succeed, and even with the best of situations and resources, few make it beyond 5 years. Do you think you could share a little with us about why this happens and what tips you have for entrepreneurs who want to keep their passion and not let the enthusiasm burn out with exhaustion and just
Yeah.
being overwhelmed with work?
Okay. Well, there's lots of reasons why a business can drop dead after a short period of time. Obviously, they may have a bad product or they may have selected the wrong marketplace, but I know that that's not really the focus we want here. So let's assume that a business owner has put together a good plan and they've done the right research into their marketplace. They've got a quality product to deliver. Their service is okay, and they're meeting the needs of a market. But other things can happen that are not part of your business education and yet can have a really big impact on the success of a business. And in thinking about this, I have three broad categories where a business owner really needs to be alert as to whether or not they're contributing to their success or the downfall of their business and their personal lives. And it comes down to feeling a need to be in control and focusing entirely on sales and growth. And finally, putting their own personal needs aside or at the very bottom of a to-do list. And briefly, each of these categories is this. As a new business owner, you're typically in love with your product, with your idea. You've obviously put a tremendous amount of energy, resources, time, money. You may have asked your family to compromise some of their needs for the expectation of something better in the future. And you're putting all your hopes in this one basket. And as a result, as the owner, you feel compelled to stay in control of everything that's happening. All of the functions, handling all the phone calls, the emails, the product delivery, the packaging, all the bureaucracy, the filing, the purchase orders, paying the bills, getting the money in, product development, marketing campaigns, research, everything. And it's literally impossible to do
Yeah.
because there are so many reasons why, despite the fact that a business owner feels it's my business, nobody's going to care as much as I do. I'm the only one who reaches into their pocket for the money at the end of the day to pay the bills. It's faster if I do it myself than train anybody else to do it right. Ultimately, if you don't shift that belief from controlling everything to delegating virtually everything that can be done less expensively by somebody else, you're going to create problems in your business many ways. And I'll just tell you two of them. One is obviously you, as the business owner, are slowing down everything in your business because every element of it has to pass through you. And that you become a bottleneck rather than a leader. And that slows down responsiveness and creativity, product development, your ability to compete well. The other thing that happens there is that um, you don't have the opportunity to focus where nobody else in your business can focus. And that's on the future of the business, staying aware of changes in the economy, your business environment, shifts in your marketplace and their needs, changes in your competitive marketplace, creating good relationships with strategic partners or joint venture partners, being aware of regulatory issues, changes in technology. Staying on top of all of that, which may not have a payoff today or tomorrow, is really what's going to keep you positioned for future development and growth. And if you're constantly focused on controlling all the day-to-day routines, you just don't have the mental bandwidth
Yeah.
to spend time doing that work as well. So that's the first issue that can ultimately cause a business to fail. The owner feeling they must be in control of everything. The second area I mentioned is a focus on sales. Now, this may sound counterintuitive because obviously sales is the engine that drives your ability to reinvest in your business and to move forward. But if you have that first problem I mentioned, having to always be in control, and at the same time, you're continuously building your business through additional sales, well, you're causing other tremendous problems. One of which is you're constantly looking for your next transaction, and you're not building a relationship with your current or past customers and clients. And they're going to want your attention. Problems are going to come up. They're going to have questions. They're going to have some confusion. And if you are not only feeling you've got to be in control of everything and you've got to be constantly looking for new sales, you're going to lose the devotion and the loyalty of your past customers. And they're going to start walking out the door while you're greeting new customers coming in the front door.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you're really good at sales and you keep bringing in new business, well, then everything else in your business is also growing. The need to get out the product, to handle customer complaints, to collect the funds, to make sure that quantity and quality is maintained while sales are growing. And again, if you are handling everything because you've got this control issue, you don't have the time or opportunity to build the infrastructure, the policies, the consistencies, the documentation to maintain a smooth running engine behind your success at sales. And then the third issue that comes up is something that a lot of people look at me cross-eyed when I say this, but I think selfishness is critical to be successful in business. Now, I don't mean a self-focus so that it's all me all the time. But if you think about why anybody goes into business, they do it because they're willing to take an enormous risk. Now, I'm assuming many people come to business ownership after having been employed. And when you're employed, you've got some predictable income, you may have some benefits, you've got resources available to you. And if you're willing to let go of all of that for the sake of going into business where nothing is guaranteed except your own confidence and your own skill, then it must be because you believed, despite that risk, you can build a better life for yourself, for the family who counts on you, maybe for the people that you feel an obligation to. And it's the dream of that better life that encourages many business owners to make that hyper leap.
Right.
And over time, they forget that image of the better life, whether it's more money, more free time to enjoy your life with your family, more opportunity to maybe fund a charitable enterprise, to travel, independence, whatever it is. And you lose all of that because you start to feel, well, the business needs me. I've got to do more work. My family will understand. And you start missing out on that better life that you originally made all that enormous change and sacrifice for. So it's very ironic, but you start out with a vision of total freedom and you end up a slave, chained to a desk and a computer for the most part. And losing that vision creates tremendous stress. And so I believe keeping that vision in front of you, that you're doing it not for the sake of the business, but you're doing it for the sake of your better life, is what leads to crafting the kind of policies that make customers happy, to hiring the kinds of employees that will represent your business well, and treating those employees well, giving them opportunity and authority and responsibility to grow, and crafting mutually beneficial relationships with your vendors and strategic partners. You do all those things with an eye towards building a first-class business, because that's how you get to have that life you want. Because the more that you have a team on board that's capable of making decisions and handling problems well, the more you can start stepping away from the business and enjoy your life. And so that's why I'm a big believer in being selfish and recognizing you're not in business to be a business owner. You're in business to create a better life, and business ownership is the vehicle you've chosen to accomplish that. So those are the three areas that I think typically get lost, and because there are myths about what success in business is all about. And those myths include I have to be in control, I've got to focus on sales, and I've got to put my life on hold for the sake of the business. And I think that's all garbage. So that's where I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity for overwhelm to set in. And the business owner doesn't realize it because they think, I'm doing everything I possibly can for my business. But what they've lost sight of is they should be doing everything they possibly can for a better run life. And as a result, they'll have a much better run first class business for themselves, their employees, their customers, and everyone who comes in contact with them. And ultimately, they'll build the kind of enterprise that one day someone will want to buy. Not only because it's a well-run enterprise with a quality product serving an important target audience, but because the business owner also has a great life.
Yeah.
And that's also a very appealing part of assessing a business as a possible opportunity for the next owner.
So I wish I could clap, I wish we had an audience and we could clap for you
Feel
because
free, I love it.
there you go. But fabulously said. Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Thank you very much. And you mentioned that you had a gift for our viewers. So do you think you could share a little bit about that, please?
I do have a gift for viewers. I know that very often we have a tendency to just want to get it done. Let's just do it. And we're not willing to take the time to think through a plan why we want to get it done. Or conversely, sometimes we'll spend lots of times crafting a plan and then it sits on a shelf and gets dusty and no one ever looks at it again because you think every day is a new day and you've got to make it up. So I have a tool that I'd like to offer our viewers today, and it's called a BHAG. And a BHAG, I don't know if you know this term, it's a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Okay.
And I have a tool that I've been using for 12 years with my small business clients in which they have an opportunity to craft their goal, their business vision in the broader context of their life, their resources, their personal intention, and it's very consistent with what we've just been talking about. So they can find that gift at this URL, morefreetimezone.com/BHAG, BHAG dash gift. Because business ownership is really just one part of a healthy, enriched life. There's so many other elements that, as you know, good health and personal relationships and family relationships, eating well, spiritual beliefs or philosophical pursuits, athleticism, or just getting your body in good shape and sleeping well. There's so much that goes into having a good life. Business ownership is part of that. Yeah. And this tool is very comprehensive, and it's my gift to business.
Very much.
It's my pleasure.
And I look forward to talking to you in our next session then.
Super. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jeff.
Thank you.